Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I don't have anything to show you because I haven't started doing it yet. But today I'm going to start my videos on the Tapestry Crochet. I'm not going to teach you in this video how to do it. We're just going to do it. There'll be another video where I actually teach Tapestry Crochet. So my two colors today are going to be these. The white I'm going to use for the base, and the pink, or the other way around, sorry, the pink I'm going to use for the base, and then the white I'm going to use for my color B. You'll be able to see it. I'm only going to use two colors in all my videos of the Tapestry Crochet letters because it's too much to do any more than two colors, especially for beginners. This calls for a 5mm. They both call for a 5mm. You kind of want it to be nice and tight, but not so tight that it's hard to work. So we're going to go up a needle size. So I'm going to use a 6.5mm. We're going to go up. So go up one or two hook sizes. I keep calling this a needle. Go up one or two hook sizes from what you would use for a skein, depending on what they call for. So like I said, this calls for a 5mm. This is worsted. This is not worsted. So let's get started. So these are not large by any means. I wanted to keep something nice and short, something small for the video. So you just need to make a slip knot. However you make a slip knot is perfectly fine. It doesn't have to be fancy. You're going to chain 12. So I needed 11 working chains for this pattern because the chart that it gives you is 11 squares. It gives you a graph chart to follow. So I wrote my graph chart out. I actually wrote my graph chart out on paper to follow for this video. So your first base foundation row is just going to be simple single crochet all the way across. We're not doing any fancy stitches, it's just all going to be single crochet. So the front and back will be usable. We're not going to have any floaters, and this is what you're going to learn today. Tapestry crochet generally has a bunch of floaters at the back, so you can't use the front and the back, but when making banners you don't really have that option. It kind of needs to be the front and the back that are usable. So once you come to the end, you can chain one and turn. So we're going to start adding our second color. So get your second color ready. I thought mine had a knot right away. So a lot of people like to use bobbins so that their work doesn't get all twisted and tangled, which is a great idea. I will show that in another tapestry. This project is so short, and I'll show you how to untangle your work as you go. It takes 2 seconds, and then you're back in the saddle again, so no fear. So for your very first stitch, you're just going to use the pink, and you're going to go in and you're going to make a half a stitch. You're going to stop right here for our second color to finish the stitch, because our second color is being used in the next stitch. So now all this has to get weaved in. All the colors that you're sticking here, they get weaved in. That's why I say it's just easier to show you how to do it with two colors. And that's also why we need a bigger hook. So for color B, which is what I'm calling the white, color B, we're going to do 3 single crochets. So that's number 1, and as you can see, there's no bleed through. So make sure you're weaving in your ends. So 3 single crochets. So on your third one, you don't finish the stitch. You finish it with the color you're going to need for the next stitch. So I'm going to finish it with the pink. And then I'm going to pull down on my weight just to keep everything nice and tight-ish. And now with the pink, I need to do 3 single crochets. It's a lot faster when I'm not teaching. Like once you get onto this, it's not as bad as it seems. So now I have to go back to color B. So my last stitch is not going to be completed with the pink. It'll be completed with my color B. And that's how you do a seamless color change. So now as far as this tail goes, I'm not going to have to contend with that much longer because we're going to carry this yarn with us throughout the entire project. So now with your next color, you're going to do 3 single crochets. Yeah, color B, 3 single crochets. I kind of got lost in my own, I didn't think I had said that right. 2, 3, so we don't finish the stitch because for our final stitch is going to be the base color. So we finish the last stitch with our base color, and then we do 1 final stitch for this row. Just trying to get this tail weaved in. I could probably just cut this tail off at any time. Oh, what happened there? Anyway, final stitch. So when I turn it, ignore this little piece of tail. I'm not taking that with me. I'll just cut that off. So when I turn this, the white is now going to be on this side. So chain 1 and turn like you would normally do for a project, and I'm going to take that white and put it on the other side. So all this is going to get hidden. So now your second row is going to be 1 single crochet with your base color, so that goes into there, but you're not going to finish the stitch. The next color is going to be the white, so I'm going to finish the stitch with the white. So with your color B, we're going to follow exactly what we just did because we need to do the same thing for 3 rows. So we're going to do white for 3 single crochets, or 2.5 if you want to look at it that way. And because we're going back to the pink, we need to finish this last stitch with the pink. And this type of color change you can use in all your crochet projects. So now we need to do 3 pink, and because I'm going to white next, I need to finish the stitch with my white. So you see how your yarn can get all messy real fast. And I'll show you after what my bobbins are. And now you gotta do 3 white. So we're just repeating the same thing for 3 rows. And now your last stitch is gonna be pink, so you finish your last stitch of white, or with the pink, and then you do your last stitch with the pink. Chain 1 and turn. So for the last row of doing the exact same thing, we do again 1 single crochet. Oops, I almost screwed that up. Finish it with your color B. 3 color Bs. 2.5 color Bs. Finish it with your pink. It's very awkward when you first start to do it, but you catch on to it real quick. 3 pinks, but we're changing to white, so finish that last stitch with your white. So this will be the final row of this pattern. We'll carry on with another row. So finish the last stitch with your pink, and then do your 1 single crochet. Oops. Sorry, that's my computer in the background. There's nothing I can do about that. The volume's actually turned down. So I'm going to turn, and we're going to start the next couple of rows. So the next couple of rows are the same as well. So these first 3 rows were the same because it's an A. So I mean, it's going to be easier than most. So the next 3 rounds are going to be exactly the same as well. So we're going to start off with our pink. We're going to finish it with our white. This row's nice and easy peasy. With the white, we're going to do 9 single crochets. So there's my 9th one that I'm going to finish with my pink. And then I'm going to do 1 single crochet. So we're going to do that for 3 rows, but first I'm going to show you how to unravel. So all you have to do is turn. Takes 2 seconds, and now I'm all untangled, just like that. So it's just a matter of just spinning it around a couple of times. And I mean, you can do that on every row. So you don't have to even turn it as many times as I just turned it. So chain 1 and turn your work, keeping your white. We're going to do the exact same thing. So start with your pink, finish it with your white. Pull down on everything, and now we're going to do 9 single crochets in color B. So that's my 9 white. I'm going to finish that with my color B, and then I'm going to do my last single crochet in the end. So pull your white so it tightens. So do you see how you can see my pink? Just because it's a thicker, which is why we use, another reason we use a bigger hook, but I forgot to pull on my white and my pink. So when you get to the end, pull. So that tightens, so you shouldn't see much of it through your work. You're going to see some of it. I mean, it can't be helped, but it's not that noticeable. So I pulled everything. I'm going to give this a twist to untwist myself a little bit. So your next round are going to be 1 single crochet. See, it's such a habit when you're used to just crocheting. Finish that with your color B, pull down. So this one is going to be, let me see, what am I, 8 to 10, round 8 to 10. Color B is 3 single crochets. So I'm going to finish it with my pink. So with the pink, you're going to do 3 single crochets. It's hard to do with a camera between your legs. So I'm going to finish this with my white. And I'm going to do 3 single crochets. Make sure you're pulling everything tight at the back. finish that with my pink, because the final stitch is 1 single crochet. So far that's what we have, and you're gonna see the exact same thing on the back with no floaters, so you'll be able to use both sides. I have to untangle myself. So I'm going to chain 1 and I'm going to turn, and I'm going to do the exact same thing that I just did. Like I said, this one's easier because it's the letter A. I'm going to finish that stitch with my color B, because I'm going to do 3 single crochets with my color B. And I'm going to finish it with my pink. And now I'm going to do 3 single crochets with my pink. And I'm going to finish it with my white. And now I'm going to do 3 single crochets with my white. And I'm going to finish it with my pink. So we're getting there. There are 16 rows in this, and we are now going to round 11. So chain 1, turn your work. Make sure you hold your work and pull on that white, just to make sure it's tight, but you don't want to really move anything here. So round 11 is going to be 1 single crochet with the pink, changing to white. Pull down on all your stuff, and we're going to do 9 single crochets with the white. So that's 9 with the white, which means we end this with the pink. And then you do your 1 single crochet with your pink, weaving in your white at the back. Oh, I didn't get under both pieces of yarn. There. Chain 1, turn your work. So rounds 12 and 13, they're the same. So with our pink, so we're changing it up a little bit, we're going to do 2 single crochets, which means on your second stitch you're going to switch to the white. Then with white, color B, you're going to do 7 single crochets. So that's my 7, so I'm going to finish it with my pink. And then I'm going to do 2 single crochets with the pink. And we're going to do this for 2 rows, so the next row is going to be exactly the same. Chain 1, turn your work. So we are now on round 14. And we're going to do 3 single crochets with our pink. That's 1. We're making the top of the A now, in case you're wondering. So that's 3 with the pink, but you're going to finish it with the white. And then with your next color, color B, you're going to do 5 single crochets. So on your 5th stitch, I'm going to pull my pink just to make sure it's tight. I'm going to finish that stitch, and then I'm going to do 3 single crochets. Sorry, I was reading the next round, the next row. 3 single crochets with your color B. Chain 1, turn your work. Round 15. So this is 16 rounds, so we're just about done, as you can see. So this is 4 single crochets of the base color. So I'm going to just give a snug pull on my white before I finish the stitch. Just keeps everything nice and tight in there. With the white, you're going to do 3 single crochets, color B. There's my 3. I'm going to finish it with the pink, but I'm going to tug on that a little bit just to keep it tight before I use it. Now 4 single crochets with the base color. So, even though we don't need to switch colors anymore, I'm going to take my white all the way across to the other side, and that's almost just like weaving it in, so I can just snip it off at the end. So this last row is just 11 single crochets with your base color, and that's just to match the bottom. And there we go. You've made your first little tapestry letter. So some parts I didn't really pull very well on I got white showing there and that. And then that's what this side looks like. So no floaters. And that's your letter A. So we are just going to fasten off with our pink with scissors. So you just need enough to weave. You don't need anything special. Well, it depends on what you're doing with it. So, and the white we weaved all the way across, so you can just snip that off, easy peasy. This is my tail from when I added my white. I'm just going to give it a little snug pull before I snip it off. Garbage out of the way. And then we tuck in our ends. Again, all depending, I guess, on what you're doing with it. Now, I'm not showing you how to do what I did. What you've seen in the picture was... what you've seen in the picture was something that I had made for my grandkids, but I'm not showing you how to do that. I'm just showing you how to do the tapestry letters. So eventually we'll work our way through the alphabet. Here we go. Letter A is done. Both sides are usable. So we can move on to letter B. I'll do this with the same color. Try to get 2 letters done per video. May not be the letters you want, but... So, again, you're going to chain 12. So that's my 12. You're going to single crochet back 11. So the reason I said at the beginning of the video that I had nothing to show you because I hadn't made it yet. I know that picture shows, in the beginning of the video, does show something, but it's wrapped up as a Christmas present, so I'm not going to dig it out now, and I took that video before I wrapped it all up. So, now we're ready to start with our other color. So first we have to put in 1 single crochet. So we're making a bee, in case I didn't mention that. I'm pretty sure I did. Add your second color. So finish that stitch with your white. This is the awkward part. It's just kind of getting started. So you got to pull down on your pink and hold that white tail, and everything's got to get pulled down. And it's very awkward, especially with the camera between your legs. So starting off the bee, we're going to do 7 single crochets with our color bee. Color bee, making a bee. 1, 2, now weave in all the crap at the back. So this is my 7th stitch, so I'm going to finish it with my pink. So I've got to pull down on everything. I'm going to let this white tail just kind of go for now because it's annoying. And I think I've weaved it enough. I'm almost right across. So your last 3 stitches are going to be just in the pink, your base color. So the first row is always awkward. You're adding in your color, you're doing all that fancy stuff. Chain 1, turn your work. So give a tug, hold your work, give a tug on your white. And now you can turn your work. So I'm going to snip this little tail guy off, so I don't need him in the way. So your next round, round 3, is going to be 2 single crochets with your pink. Pulling your white out of the way would be helpful. So there's number 2. So I'm going to finish it with my white. I'm going to pull down on the pink. So for color B, you're going to do 8 single crochets. So that's my 8, but I'm not going to finish it. Well, I am. I'm just going to finish it with my pink. Hold your work, pull everything nice and tight, and do your 1 single crochet at the end. Chain 1, turn your work. So rounds 4 and 5 are the same. We're going to do 1 single crochet with our pink, which means we're going to finish it with the white. Pull down on all your stuff and do 9 single crochets with your color B. And 9. Finished with your color A, and then your 1 single crochet. chain 1. So you can give this a twist. So this next couple of rows, they're going to be the same as well. So we're going to do 1 single crochet, and we're going to finish it with color B. Pull down on all your stuff. Color B is going to be 3 single crochets. So I'm going to finish that with the pink. 3 single crochets with the pink. Then I'm going to finish with the white. Pull down on all your stuff. 3 single crochets with the white. And finish it with your pink. And then 1 single crochet with your pink. Chain 1, turn your work. So, time to unravel your... So if you are pulling too tight, you really got to watch your tension with these things. So if you are pulling too tight, it will get out of place. So, which is another reason to use the bigger hook. So chain 1, turn your work. So that was 2 rows of that, so we are now on round 8. So we're going to do 1 single crochet. And we're going to do 9 base colors, or color Bs, 9 single crochets. So before I switch, I just want to hold my work and give a little tug on the pink just to make sure it's pulled tight, because I'm weaving this all in at the back, right? So just want to make sure it's all tight. And then your last stitch is 1 single crochet. Chain 1, turn your work. Row 9 is going to be 2 single crochets with the pink. So that's 2. I'm going to finish with my white. And then with your white is going to be 8 single crochets. And that's 8. So I'm going to finish that with my pink. And then 1 single crochet. So every single round needs to add up to 11. Every single round. Chain 1, turn your work. Round 10 is going to be 1 single crochet. So finish it with your white, pull everything down. Color B is going to be 9 single crochets. That's 9. So I'm going to finish it with all these scrap pieces. So I'm going to finish this with my pink. And I'm going to do my 1 single crochet. Chain 1, turn your work. Round 11 and 12 are going to be the same, so it's going to be 1 single crochet. Finish that with your white. Color B is going to be 3 single crochets. So on the third one, finish it with your pink, or color A. You're going to do 3 single crochets with your base color, and then finish that last stitch with your white, and then color B is going to be 3 single crochets. Finish that last one with your pink, and then your last stitch is 1 single crochet. And we do the exact same thing. So you can see the bee coming together. I'm going to untangle myself for a minute, or a second. Ooh, I must pull my thing out. Alright, so we are on row 13. So 16 rows, so we're just about done. So do your 1 single crochet, finishing it with your white. Pull down on all your stuff. With your color B, you're going to do 9 single crochets. So on your 9th stitch, you finish it with your pink, and then you do your last 1 single crochet. Chain 1, turn your work. Row 14 is going to be 1 single crochet with your base. So change to your white, or your color B. We're going to do 8 single crochets with your color B. There's 8, so I'm going to finish 8 with my new color, my next color, and I'm going to do the 2 single crochets with my pink. This turning over stitch is sometimes can be quite difficult, and if you're struggling, just manipulate it a little bit. It's not going to hurt anything. But just make sure you get into it properly. You don't want to go through all the work of tapestry crochet to have your work all messed up. You want it to be perfect the first time around. So chain 1, turn your work. Row 15 is going to be 3 single crochets with your base. That's number 1, 2, and then the third one is a half stitch. Change into your color B. Pull everything down. Color B is going to be 7 single crochets. So I'm going to finish that with my pink, and then put your 1 single crochet, chain 1, turn your work. So our B is just about complete. Our final row is just 1 single or 11 single crochets with your base color, which is pink for me. But just like the A, I'm going to still take my white across, that way I can just cut it off and I don't have to worry about weaving it in anywhere. So you certainly do get used to carrying yarn at the back with you. So, and you also learn a better way to change colors, so you can apply that to your regular crochet projects. It's just absolutely seamless, and I love all these little bunting letters. You can just make, you know, little kids' names, which is what I did, obviously, in the bunting style. So the ones in the picture that I showed you, the ones in the start of the video, I started at a point, so all mine come down in a triangle, but these are just simple square. Make sure this last stitch you get in under both pieces of yarn. These are just simple and square, and you know, I'll measure it here in a minute if I can find my tape. So just chain 1 to fasten off. There's nowhere to slip stitch, so you don't have to do that. So just need enough to weave, like the A. It's no different than the A. So pull that tight. Now this white you weaved across, so you're safe to just snip that off. If you didn't weave yours across, then you'll have to tuck it in somewhere. So I have a measuring tape somewhere. Hold on a minute. So this table that I use for my new craft table, if you've watched my channel long enough, you know I've moved now to the basement of my home and created, it's a partially finished basement, and I've created a new craft room for myself, a bigger craft room for myself, and this new table that my husband built me has this fabulous drawer in the front, and that's where I keep everything. But when I film, the camera is right here, so it's right in front of the drawer. So sometimes I usually am smart and I pull things out before my videos and set up and stuff, but today not so much. So I just weave that once across the top. I don't go super crazy, but just make sure it's not pulled tight or anything. So if it's curling, it's only because it's tight. So you're not gonna have to starch these. They're tight, and that's just going up from a 5mm to a 6.5, and then using 2 pieces of yarn that, I mean, both yarns call for 5mm. So if you didn't want this to be, I mean, it's pliable, it's not like it's super tight, and it's not like it's gonna stay in shape if you bend it, but if you wanted something that's as loosey-goosey as you can get it, you're gonna have to just go up in hook size. And if you want something that's actually tighter, which I would not suggest, but if you did, then you just go down in hook size. For these, I don't have to, I mean, I'll do a little bit of blocking. To keep it from rolling up at the sides. So when it's hanging in like a bunting fashion, it won't curl like that. So that's your letter B. So now we've got A and we've got B. So that's all the time we have for today. Thanks for joining me, guys. I'll see you in the next video.